This is where I'm meant to be right now. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Majeste Beye. I'm Jess. Hope you guys are well. Hope you had a good week. So I haven't really thought about what I'm going to talk about this week. I tend to film on Sunday straight after church, and you know, the spirit got me some type of way and I'm just like ready, and I hope this video helps someone. Let's get into it. So last week at church, we had a visiting pastor and his wife, and you know, after church everyone's schmoozing and everyone's like, oh hi, blah, 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 talking, and she came up to me and she was like, hey, blah blah blah, talking about church life, ministry and all that good stuff. She saw my ring. She was like, oh, where's your husband? Because obviously everyone has got their husbands there, husbands with them, living their best life. So normally people will ask, where's my husband? I'll be like, oh, especially if like I didn't really know them, I'll be like, oh, he's not here today. But today, at that time, last week, I was just like, he doesn't come to church. And she was kind of like, oh, okay. Because, you know, if you do go to church and it's just you by yourself, by now, it's been a few years now, so I'm used to that reaction. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't come. And normally it kind of just moves on from there. But she was like, oh, you know, why? Oh, okay, so we're going there, okay. So I just kind of explained. So I was just like to her, what I've learned is that people make their own decisions in life. You can't make choices for people. People make choices, whether it be your husband, your children, whatever. Ultimately, everybody has a choice in life. She said, and then she's going kind of like, you know, oh, it must be so hard, you know, blah blah blah. And any wives out there that know, like, are in the same situation, you know, it's kind of like you get that you either get a lot of pity or you get a lot of, you know, questions. The first couple of years were really hard, you know, because she was like, oh, it must be so hard. And I was like to her, at this point in my life, is not like she's like, you know, coming to church by yourself and blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, at the beginning it was very hard. There's different stages, and obviously it's like everyone will go through different, but for me, I'm at a place now where this is my story, because a lot of the time I used to think, you know, it's so unfair, like, honestly, and if you're going through it, you'll know it's so unfair. Everyone else gets their husbands, their children in church, and they're all together. Bear it, like, I know they argue and stuff, and you know, just because your husband comes to church don't mean. I used to be like, it's not fair, you know, what have I done wrong, like, this is not how it was meant to be. And you know, you do compare a lot, but like after a while I realized that this is my time now to understand God a lot more and his love, really work out my own salvation. Because sometimes when you get married, especially if you get married young, there's a lot of reasons behind it. It might be for sexual purity, if you know anything else apart from being with your husband or being a couple or being together. So for me, it was kind of like finding out about myself. And if you guys know, a few years back I cut off all my hair and stuff, and I was going through the motions, because you know, the stages that we've had, me and my husband together, have been kind of like him not coming, then us separating, and then us getting back together and living like spiritually mismatched. You know, at first you're really embarrassed and you're really angry at the situation, because you have to come now by yourself, and if you're, especially when you're young, you don't really know how to, you know, you kind of just laugh it all off, like, my husband's not here. You know, everyone's seen you get married, everyone's seen you, everyone's got hopes for you and dreams for you too, and when it doesn't go to plan, you're kind of confused, like, like sometimes I'd be sitting in church just not even focusing on the sermon and be like, how did I get here? How am I by myself? It is a hard journey, because the lady's going, oh, you know, it must be so hard. And I was like, yeah, it's okay, because I've been through the emotions quite a lot years gone by now, and now I'm in a place where I'm like okay with it. But it's hard, like, and it's okay to be really angry and really upset, because this is your life, you know. You've got all the dreams of coming to church and worshiping and all of those things with your husband, and then when it doesn't happen and you're only like, I was 22 or 23, so about 3 years ago, yeah, now. You go through the motions of anger, bitterness towards God, towards your spouse, and you take it out on them because, you know, you've ruined our rep. Like, you know, there's so many crazy things that go on those first few years. But when I spoke to this lady this time round, something different, and that's when I kind of realized, like, this is God's plan. Like, for ages I used to think that I could rectify the situation, that I could do a lot of things. If I did this, maybe God would give me my husband back in church. If I did this, maybe my husband will just one day just but it didn't happen, and it still hasn't happened like that. And when I was explaining to this woman that I'm actually so much stronger because I know what I've been through, I know what I've overcome. I've been through all of that, and a lot of people will come up to you and they'll say you're so strong, and I think you can own that. And, you know, like Meshach and Shadrach and Bendigo, they didn't come out smelling like smoke. That's the goal. Is it can hurt, the flames can hurt, and you can see the flames and you can walk through the flame, but if you come out so much richer, like I'm so much richer in knowledge, and even now I'm still building on it because I'm still in a spiritually mismatched marriage and I have my struggles, I have my days. This is where I'm meant to be right now. People ask you questions and, you know, you feel like less spiritual, or you feel like less able to give maybe marital knowledge, or, you know, especially at work, people ask you questions like, you know, you go to church, you're like, oh, you and your husband go to church together, and it's like you feel like you're giving God such a bad, like, you feel guilty for being a Christian and giving that reputation, because I have to explain to my friends, no, my husband doesn't go to church, he doesn't believe, I'm not sure what he believes, but, you know, I'm just saying he doesn't have a belief at the moment that he wants to express. This is a disclaimer: don't go out and just marry someone that's not in your faith, because it is extremely hard. I don't know how people do it. I personally do not recommend it. The Bible doesn't recommend it. Me starting to unravel the last, I would say, 3 or so years. So it's a very taboo. Like I said, you're very embarrassed, you're very ashamed, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. You didn't do anything wrong. This is just your story. God has opened my eyes to so many different things, and I've tried to find books, I tried to find this, and I really struggled, and there's only 2 books which I probably will do a deeper video into that I have read that are fantastic. The first one is by Lee and Leslie Strobel, and it's How to Survive a Spiritually Mismatched Marriage. Opened my eyes, and that there really isn't a lot of books for spiritually mismatched couples. There's a lot of blogs. I've got a lot of notes, blogs on my phone, and if I remember when I'm editing, I'm not too lazy, I'll add those in. There's a book by Joe Berry, Beloved Unbeliever, and I haven't really got through that one properly yet, and I need to, but this is a different realm. Like, we do not fight against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual thing. Like, it will test you. As when I had a bigger following on Instagram before I deleted it, a lot of girls reach out to me and be like, my boyfriend is not saved, I'm saved, my husband, you know, when I did the video a few years ago, my husband left church, there were so many positive, amazing women, were so strong, and I think that's what I'm here to do. Who knows how long my husband will be saved. Even my husband got saved next month, to impart what I've learn and just to speak, so that we can create this community together, not to bash our husband. I'm very excited. Like I said last week, I just felt so much joy in looking and kind of reflecting as I was talking to this lady about my situation, on how far God has brought me and how far I've come, and that it's not the end. It's not the end of the road that my husband doesn't come to church. It's not the end of the road that my marriage is like this. This is actually the beginning. And if you're really interested in this, please leave me questions, and I'll address them. I'll do like a Q&A specifically, but I am going to try and maybe do 3 parts of the last 3 years and how each step, and obviously like bits and nuggets and knowledge from the books that I've read. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This is Majeste, Jess, whatever you want to call me. DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is @Majeste Beye. I'll see you later. Bye.